I love a good alternate version of history when it comes to storytelling. Whether it's a reimagining of an old tale like the many, many versions of A Christmas Carol, or a what if this happened retelling like John Carpenter's The Thing, taking a well-known story and giving it a twist makes it both intriguing and something new. In King Arthur, A Knight's Tale by Neocore Games, that's what's offered. The official website describes it thusly. Knight's Tale is a modern retelling of a classic Arthurian mythology story filtered through the dark fantasy tropes, a twist on the traditional tales of chivalry. Now, I'm not well versed in the intricacies of the Knights of the Round Table mythology, but I know the names and the general character of the major figures like Arthur and Merlin and Sir Lancelot. Even with a surface level knowledge, this game changes the tone and reshapes it to a degree that is enticing. So here's the rundown. You're the famous Black Knight of the traditional tales, rather than the knight in shining armor or the heroic wizard. The website tells us you are Sir Mordred, the nemesis of King Arthur, the former Black Knight of the Grim Tales. Within the game, we get more background. It tells us Sir Mordred was once one of the greatest knights of the Round Table, smart, relentless, and dedicated, eventually becoming the nemesis of King Arthur, destined to battle the once and future king in the final duel at the Battle of Camlan. His increasing conflicts with Arthur earned him the title of traitor on behalf of his fellow knights who remained faithful to Camelot. It is true that Mordred always had the reputation of a black knight, ruthless, a grim warrior who never suffered fools easily, and his relentless actions were always far from the knightly deeds praised by the troubadours. But he always kept the interests of the realm in sight. In the last battle for Britannia, Sir Mordred and King Arthur finally clashed in a furious battle, and in a savage duel they both struck a killing blow. However, even after their fall, their fate is still intertwined here in the otherworldly island of Avalon. So, the website says you killed King Arthur, but with his dying breath, he struck you down. You both died, and yet, you both live. The opening cinematic gives us more details about your nefarious deeds in pursuit of King Arthur, such as killing the ladies of summer and lords of winter. The narrative talks about you leading the armies of men and monsters, watching Camelot be devastated by magic all the while. And as a result of the mutual death blows you and King Arthur struck, something was unleashed on the world, a tide of madness and pain, as the lore tells us. Playing from the villain's perspective is nothing new, and many games have subverted a source material lore like this. But there's more going on here than just a paradigm shift. Back from mutual death, you and Arthur seem to be on a collision course for another confrontation. But why? The website says the Lady of the Lake, the ruler of this mystical island of Avalon, brought you back to end a true nightmare. She wants you to go on a nightly quest. She wants you to finish what you've begun. So you're tasked with hunting down Arthur again, or as the lore says, whatever he's become. So that's where the story picks up.
I want you to finish what you have begun. Kill King Arthur.
The opening act sees you waking up in Camelot Castle's prisons and reuniting with a former comrade of Sir Arthur, Sir Kay.
I wish I could talk to him, but I can't just yet. Serves him right anyway.
We're told that Sir Kay is the late King Arthur's foster brother, one of the finest warriors of the Round Table. In Avalon, he continued to act as Arthur's seneschal in his absence, and most of the knights treated him like their leader. It all changed after the Lady of the Lake, the monarch of the mystical island, disappeared during a terrible storm, which unleashed a tide of unnatural disasters upon Avalon. Kay withdrew into a fortified castle near the empty husk of Camelot, and he's taken upon himself to fight the darkness, slowly engulfing the entire region. It all started out by waging a constant war against brigands and knights, gathering ragtag armies. But soon Kay realized that there was an evil taint seeping in from the farthest reaches of Avalon. When he learned that Camelot had been taken by Sir Llewellyn, he set out to cleanse the place, only to be betrayed by his own vassals. This is the first time we hear of an unnatural storm, but it won't be the last, as it appears to be a major event that has led to things being the way they are. Reaching the throne room, we meet Sir Llewellyn as well, once a noble warrior with 2 knightly sons. He seems to be imbued with the same resurrected spark that we are, but in a lesser form, which he dubs a lost one. He holds the castle of Camelot, which is a place only for the future king of Avalon, but he's thrown off the sacred laws now that he's lost one. Sir Llewellyn lets us know he was aboard the ship that carried King Arthur when it was sunk by this mysterious storm, and Arthur awaits us in what he names the Land of Midnight.
I fell in battle, like we all did, but instead of gaining new life in legendary Avalon, I've returned as a lost one. Let me rephrase it, traitor. Camelot is a sacred place, reserved for the once and future king. That is the law. But I spit on the laws of the Lady of the Lake. I'm not afraid of her. Lost ones can't perish. This is our curse and blessing. He is not. The unholy storm wrecked the ship that brought the dying king to Avalon. And the raging tempest, something was waiting for the ship. And then the darkness took the king, and all of us in its embrace. Arthur is beyond the Bridge of Sorrows, dwelling on the accursed land of midnight. Whatever you do, you need more than a blade to break my curse.
Leaving the castle, we find Sir Ballon, one of Llewellyn's two sons. Sir Ballon is a knight of the Round Table, the son of Sir Llewellyn. He believes in the code of chivalry and in his duty to protect the innocent. Destined to be the polar opposite of his tyrannical brother, Sir Ballon, he's fighting a valiant but losing battle in Avalon against the armies of darkness, and also against his brother. Their quarrels reached a new height during the onset of the new Dark Era after the storm, when the two brothers almost resorted to a duel over the fate of their ancestral castle, the stronghold built over a deep chasm connecting the two separate regions. Sir Ballon is a believer in the Old Faith, and the religion of the ancient tribes, and the Fae folk, while his brother is a Christian zealot, which doesn't help in making their relationship much healthier. Ballon eventually left the castle and became a hedge knight, wandering the area and battling bandits and marauder knights. He recommends seeking his brother Ballon, who's defending the bridge at their family's birthright. But before we go there, we also come across Lady Dendrane, a devout ranger type seeking the Holy Grail. She's the sister of Percival and Galahad, whom she reveals are on different paths. We're told Sir Percival's sister, a brave and skillful warrior who is mostly overshadowed by her brother's fame in Britannia, but set out to forge her own path in Avalon. Lady Dendrane is an exceptional archer who's been hunting for the Grail in Avalon for a long time, until she and her brother got separated after the storm. Following the rumors pried out of mad hermits and babbling visionaries, originally they wanted to explore the vicious wasteland, a new territory on the island, a growing blight on Avalon that recently started to form around Castle Corbenek. This is where Dendrane lost Percival. She is withdrawn to the region near Camelot, where she's pursuing her knightly quest, while trying to find a path to the Grail. She's fearless, and especially not afraid to say what's on her mind, and doesn't bow to authority. She only answers to God, after all. Throughout this, the Lady of the Lake offers commentary for us to hear her opinion of the choices we're making. Sort of a moral compass, if you will. Over the course of these early quests, you're making choices that are pulling your alignment in one of four directions: rightful, tyrant, old faith, and Christian. Your motivations for Mordred are yours to dictate, and while I haven't progressed enough to see these outcomes yet, you can see them here on this screen. How you craft Mordred's story opens up access to new members of the Round Table and other effects on gameplay. The first mission has us retaking the bridge held by the aforementioned Sir Ballon. We need to get to the shores on the other side, but we have to deal with the threat at the bridge first, and the family dispute that's going on.
What on earth could this be? You again. Clear away from my land.
Ballon, brother, you can't banish me from my own land. This castle is my heritage.
This castle belongs to a lord who can defend it for a change.
You call this defense? You are hiding in a tower, watching it all crumble away.
Enough, or I swear I'll gut you both.
By the devil, it is Sir Mordred in the flesh. What has brought you back from the bottom of the pit, Dread Knight? That's the Sir Mordred I knew. You don't even care what horrors lie beyond. Good luck with that. The ship that brought him here was destroyed not far from here, in the Whispering Cove. It is an unholy place. It seems quiet now, but they can come at you from anywhere. Believe me, I fought and bled for each room. Let's clean out the places where they gather. Now that the castle has been cleansed, we must talk about the fate of the bridge.
I am the rightful heir. This was our father's will. I'm glad to serve a righteous king.
I'm the one holding back the tide of darkness, not my brother. I have paid for this land with my blood. To hell with you. Show me anyone who could have fared better. You could use my services, and you know that well.
As a knight, I will accept your decision, whatever it shall be.
I'd suggest that you consider your next step wisely.
We have to make a choice between each brother's claim. In my case, the bridge is awarded to Sir Ballon, the rightful choice. Sir Ballon is none too pleased and warns us of future repercussions.
You are a righteous king, and I am your humble servant.
I think one day you will regret this, Mordred.
Before we spurned his request, Sir Ballon directed us to the Whispering Cove in our quest for King Arthur.
The Lord Almighty heard my prayers.
At the Whispering Cove, we meet Sir Hector. Sir Hector is an experienced and grizzled veteran of many battles, a noble knight who served Camelot all his life, and even after that. Hector was the father of Sir Kay, and the foster father of young Arthur, before he became the king, who began to unite the warring kingdoms of Britannia. For a long time, Hector was standing at Arthur's side, during all his skirmishes against kings and monsters and the demigods of the past. But Hector always believed that knights and kings are solely the servants of the realm, and that the law must be upheld at all costs, even if it means ruling by an iron fist and shattering any resistance, and thus he became disappointed in how King Arthur ruled Camelot. He particularly found the adventures of the Knights of the Round Table distasteful and unnecessary, a pompous and empty parade of swordsmanship instead of fighting on the real battlefield. Still, he served Camelot faithfully, until he fell with a sword in hand at the gates of the stronghold. Turns out that Sir Hector's plans involved a ritual sacrifice of innocent villagers and knights, in an effort for what he sees as the greater good.
You are not ready for the truth. But trust me, everything I do it for Camelot.
You haven't gone soft in Avalon, Sir Hector. That's for certain.
We're done with the chaff. We must head to the sacred grounds at once. The curse is slowly coming undone, and the soil is spewing out lost ones. They are awake. I am afraid not. Reanimated husks of knights, great warriors.
Back so soon. The one who yanked me from the cold grave. The fool who raised the dead to recruit an army for Camelot. Sir Hector. I was laid to rest as a revered champion. Now I'm just a puppet, brought back by an unholy ritual.
The plague is over, and the curse has been dispelled. Yet, I still owe you an explanation. I came to this place to resurrect great champions of old, to bind them to my bidding with an incantation. Avalon is besieged from all sides. It must survive, whatever it costs. My honor or your lives, it doesn't matter. The earth demands blood to release the dead. I ordered my men to kill some villagers, but the incantation went wrong. The ritual has worked before, but this Avalon is not the place I used to know.
Arthur is nowhere to be found, and our quest continues elsewhere. Our next quest takes us to the Crowblack Woods.
Crowblack Woods always had a fearsome reputation. But after the storm, the forest turned even more dangerous. The rumors of something stirring in the dark reached the ears of Sir Ivan, a daring hedge knight. Since he entered the woods, opaque mist has been covering the trees. We don't know what is lurking behind the eerie fog, but whatever happened there, it needs to be dealt with.
Wait, what's happening? I sense a dark whirlwind moving beyond an invisible veil. It's old. I've never felt anything like that. Oh, you poor souls.
Die already! I've had enough of you!
Yvain was known as one of the most daring knights of the Round Table in Britannia, and his reputation hasn't changed in Avalon either. He was prone to find himself in the middle of the strangest adventures. One of those quests earned him the nickname the Knight of the Lion, when he rescued a lion from a dragon, gaining a loyal companion for many years. Still, for Yvain, the greatest danger has always been his inability to refuse the lure of romance, which frequently landed him in the most dangerous situations and sometimes had long-lasting consequences. Once, he even lost his mind because of a noble lady, and for months he was wandering the woods, raving like a madman, until he was cured by a powerful enchantress. He besieged castles, defeated monsters, and fought duels to save damsels in distress, and even today, he would do the same without any hesitation. We meet up with Sir Yvain fighting some foes, and he questions whether we're real or imagined.
My old nemesis, the wicked Sir Godfrey. The only fight I've ever lost was with him. It was a long time ago, and it still haunts me to this day. Literally, as you see. Well, he can't be the real Godfrey, that's for certain. This knight has otherworldly abilities, and he's getting stronger every time I fight him.
As the Lady of the Lake warned us, there's a presence in these woods that has empowered Godfrey.
This monster serves Godfrey. It's very dangerous to get too close to this one. Strange. I don't remember this old man from all my previous attempts.
Careful, you'll scare away these ancient stones, and don't want that, do we?
A strange hermit provides a similar warning and says that these woods used to be the home of a benevolent goddess, but the mysterious storm we keep hearing about changed it into a place of
When the gods
nightmare.
of the old faith sailed this ocean, they often found refuge here in Avalon. Their thundering steps soaked this soil with power. This forest used to be the sacred grove of the goddess of dreams. She is long gone, but her faint echo is still here. The storm woke up the echo, but it needed a dreamer to become stronger. And there came a reckless night, and his nightmare turned into reality that trapped him here. He can't kill his worst nightmare. You are the one who needs to wake him up. What are you waiting for? You have a nightmare to kill, and I urgently need to talk these stones.
Godfrey's henchman is here. I suspect that the totem gives him power. This is Godfrey's unholy servant. Beware, it can summon lightning. That's Sir Godfrey, my nemesis. I've tried to defeat him countless times, with no success.
You again, knight. Your stubbornness is really charming.
What an adventure! Thank you for helping me out.
And that's where we'll leave this story for now, but come back for the next episode of Loresploring as I progress further along the story of King Arthur: A Knight's Tale, and the adventure it provides. Until then, cheers, and thanks for watching.